Hi, and welcome to the Black Starters Podcast, featuring stories of Black business owners, leaders, and artists walking through their journey from the start through obstacles and onward to success. Powered by BlackStarters.com. And now, here's your host, Lauren Marie.
Hey, Starters, Lauren here, and today's episode is going to be really fantastic. I am here with Malacia Anderson of LiLi's Creations, and if you have not seen her work, I mean, oh my goodness, you would be blown away. In this interview, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about getting started with the talents that you already have. We talk about selling on Etsy. We talk about doing the thing that you always told yourself that you would do. And we also give you at the end a lot of really great Instagram marketing tips. So you don't want to miss it. Be sure to watch to the end. And let's go ahead and just jump right in. So, Malacia, when you are out and about and you're meeting new people and they ask you, Malacia, what do you do? What do you tell them?
I'm an entrepreneur. It's the first thing I say.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, oh, really? That's usually the second response. Oh, really? And, you know, full-time or part-time? And I'll say full-time. And then they go, really? And then I'm like, and then they'll ask, you know, doing what? And I'll say, I have my own clothing line and I sell it on Etsy. And then the second question is, do I, buy it and resell it? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of bloggers and and I'm like, no, I make them by hand. And then I get really even more. and then they're like, how is it that hard? I'm like, no, because, I make it to measure. I make it by your measurement. So I don't pre-make things. So I don't have waste, basically. Mm. So it's not as hard as I think it's harder the other way because you don't know what the response is going to be. And then you're stuck with it if the response isn't what you thought it was going to be. Whereas if that happens to me, it's just fabric. I'll just flip the fabric into something else. I'm not necessarily stuck. So I usually get really.
So, of course, I hear all the time people fishing things out from Alibaba or AliExpress and just kind of flipping those over, adding a tag or something. But
yeah, and that's it. And then they sell it and they turn into these style influencers and they're jet setting all over the place. And that's it. I'm like, Yeah, and the model is great. I've always sewn all my life. So that wasn't anything I ever really, considered. I wouldn't consider that. I always just thought, you go on Etsy and you're supposed to make it yourself. So I know how. So I just make it myself. And when I went on Etsy, it wasn't even to say I'm going to be an entrepreneur. It was just one of those, I kept saying I was going to do it every year. I'm going to do it. Oh, it might be expensive. I'm going to do it maybe in 6 months. I'm going to do it, and I would put it off. And then I would crochet. I used to crochet all the time. But kind of started crocheting and selling my hats and stuff. So I actually would shop on Etsy for cute crochet patterns that allow you to make them and sell them, because some people don't. And some people, they don't mind if you take your pattern, make it, and sell the item itself. You can't sell the pattern, but you can sell the hat itself. And everybody would want the hat, and then I would sell it. So I was a shopper at first. And then I decided, I started really from Instagram sewing group called Pretty Girls Sew, because I had stopped sewing for, long time, years. And I started sewing with you do 1 month outfit a month, and you take a picture, they pick the pattern, and then you make it. And then I started noticing a lot of them had their own little sewing businesses, and I'm like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah. So I'm guessing you started, right?
So I opened my Etsy shop kind of as a birthday present. It was a week before my birthday in 2013. That was my birthday present to myself. And I think the first thing I made was a skirt, and I posted it on Instagram. And I still remember her to this day. She was my first customer, my first order for my skirt. And I was like, wow, somebody somewhere across in California has my skirt hanging in their closet.
Yeah, tell me at what point you realized you could turn this into your full-time business.
By my second year, when my income passed my regular income from my job.
And now, here's a quick word from our supporters.
Hi, this is Q from Q's Cakes. Please check me out at qcakes.com. You can also find me on Facebook /QS Cakes. We have amazing comfort food cakes that are going to be on sale. And yes, we ship all over the United States. Once again, visit me at qcakes.com.
Now, let's get back to the show.
Were there any obstacles that you ran into as you were trying to just like pull this whole thing off?
I really think the only obstacle really is just properly preparing to leave my job, saving enough money to have enough cushion for the uncertainties.
Mm-hmm. So what would you have done differently if you could go back?
I think the best transition would probably be go from full-time to part-time to full-time entrepreneur. That optimally, I think that's probably the best, because you still have a second income.
I hear you. So in reflecting over the life of your business these last couple of years, what would you say that you've learned to do especially well?
I would say I would say marketing, and then I would say modeling, since I model my own stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your Instagram looks very well put together. Like you put a lot of thought into it. What are your secrets?
Consistency. I learned to, especially when I was working, I would be very consistent in when I posted and how I posted. And then sometimes I created certain days, like I created How I Styled Tuesday, and I would wear one of my outfits and I would show how I styled it, what necklace, what shoes, what bag, what top I wore. And then I used to do Inspiration Wednesday, where I would, give like either something I may be going through, I would share it, and, how maybe God showed me a different way, or what scripture helped me through it. And I did it on a consistent basis, and I think that's why people feel like they know me.
Yeah, it seems like you have a really close connection. Just looking at the engagement on your pages, it looks like people really feel like they can connect to you, and I do think that it has a lot to do with the fact that
especially for me, I take pictures in my stuff, so people know my face. They only see my face 99% of the time. So if I meet you and then I act like, okay, whatever, Lauren, you're like, what? And she wants me to buy that dress? I think not. She's not even a nice person, you know what I'm saying? People don't I feel like sometimes people don't realize that if you're gonna use your own self as your brand, that means whatever way you represent that, you have to be on that all the time. There is no, unless I walk outside in a sweatsuit and you think it's me, but you're not really sure. If I have some, right, because you're like, kind of look like her, but I wouldn't think she'd wear that, so nah, it's not her. But if I walk outside and I have on one of my skirts or one of my dresses, you're going to notice it, for one. And then you'll look and you'll be like, oh my God, that's, and then I look at you and be like, hi. You standing there looking like, you're not even gonna, and I don't do that. I'm more like, hey, how are you? I give you a hug, that goes a long way. Maybe you never bought anything before. You were just checking me out. And that's the thing that I would say to anyone coming up trying to do that. You're going to use yourself as your brand. You're going to have to decide what feelings are you going to convey with your brand, and what content are you going to use to express those feelings, because reaching people that you don't realize you reach. When someone comes up to you at a park and runs across the park, because this happened to me, ran across the park to say hello to me, and I'm like, because I'm like, look, I'm just like you, girl. You know what I mean? I cry. I get hungry. I just make clothes. That's how you look at it. You don't think about that. That's what I would say. You definitely got to just be very, very purposeful on how you use your content, how you present your content, and what you want to share about yourself. Because people buy into people, not necessarily things when you're an entrepreneur. Because it's me you're buying into for you to decide that you're going to feel special in that shirt or a t-shirt or a dress or a hat.
Yeah. And I think that is actually a really great place to stop. All right, Malacia, before we end, can you let us know where we can find you on social and where we can check out your products?
I am on Etsy, www.LiLi, which is LiLi Creations with an S, .etsy.com.
All right, you heard it. Be sure to check her out. And that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please give it a 5-star rating and also a review if you have some feedback for me. I do want to get better at this, and I know that I will. So I'd like your help, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Black Starters Podcast. For more exclusive content, don't forget to log on to blackstarters.com. There you can find all our social media sites. And if you like this episode, don't forget to leave a 5-star review, comment, and share.